Hello! Thank you for joining me today. I'm so glad you're here. The verse we're going to focus on today is 1 Corinthians 13:13. So now abide faith, hope, and love, these three, but the greatest of these is love. I always start by prepping the page with clear gesso. I really like this Finnabar Art Basics one. It has a smooth texture. It's not gritty or sandy like other gessos. I use clear because I like the look of the text in the background. I do cover the words so it's hard to read, but I just like the effect of having the text still visible even if it's not legible. You want to make sure you cover the entire page with gesso. This helps to protect it, and it helps to keep whatever mediums you use to not bleed through to the other side of the paper. It gives these mediums something to cling to but not be absorbed so much. And I also feel like it helps to keep the colors stay vibrant as well. Here I'm using my Recollections heat tool. This just helps to dry your layers a lot faster. I use a lot of layers, and so I use this tool in between every layer to help my colors from smearing and smudging and creating mud. I make sure every layer is dry. You want to be careful when you're using your heat tool. You don't want to focus it on one area too long, or you could burn your paper. Next, I mist the page with some water. I am working with watercolors today, and the water will help the colors to flow over the page to create a soft background. The watercolors I'll be using today are by Handmade Modern. I found this set at Target. I thought it was really cute. I liked the individual pans. There was a good assortment of colors. The colors are bright, and I just really like it. I'm using a water brush to apply the colors. I don't know where I got this water brush from. It just came in one of the kits that I had. And it's falling apart. I need a new one, but it works. So when I go to create my pages, I really don't have a plan of what I'm going to do. I just do whatever feels right. When you guys are journaling, do you guys plan out your pages, or do you just kind of go with the flow? I don't have a specific idea or anything. I do know I already have my image that I'm going to use already picked out, and I have the napkin picked out. But as far as the background that I'm doing now, I don't have a plan for it. I just choose colors that I am drawn to that day and just put them on the page. So to prep your napkin, you're gonna want to peel the layers apart. You only want to use the top printed layer, so you have a thin tissue paper. Once you've got the layers all pulled apart, some of them pull apart easy, some of them you gotta kind of take your time and pull it apart slowly, but you just want the printed side. I like using the napkin technique. It's great for someone like me who can't draw. You can pick napkins up at Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby, Tuesday Morning. You can even find them at Goodwill or thrift stores for a good price on open packs. So I decided I didn't like that napkin, and I'm using this other one. This one was gifted to me by a friend, and I just thought this one was prettier, so I'm using that one instead. It's already been pulled apart. She sent it to me that way. And we're gonna cut the part of the napkin out that I want to use. You don't have to cut it if you don't want to. You could also rip it, and that'll give a interesting texture to your page. But I really wanted to cut out this section. I was trying to save as much of the napkin as I could because I really like it, and it's the only one that I have, so I chose to cut out the section that I wanted. I'm using the heat tool again to dry it. We're about to put on another layer of gesso, and I'm just don't want the watercolor to be reactivated and smear, so I'm just making sure it's good and dry before I put on another layer of gesso. The gesso is what's going to adhere the napkin to the page. For this step, you're going to want to do it light-handedly. You don't want to use too much pressure because then you'll reactivate the watercolor and move it around and smear it with the gesso. While the gesso is still wet, I apply my napkin pieces to the areas that I want. I go really slow, make sure to get the wrinkles and air bubbles out. Make sure I have it in the exact spot that I want it in. Make sure it's lined up with the edge. You want to go slow because if you need to pull your napkin up to reposition it, you could risk ripping it, and you don't want to do that. So again, just take your time, make sure it's exactly how you like it. Use the gesso to glue it down, smooth it out. And sometimes when you do have the wrinkles and bubbles under the napkin, it does create a cool texture on there. And so sometimes that is nice. Then you take the gesso and you seal the napkin onto your page. Go slow, light pressure. You could still rip the napkin if you push too hard. So just take your time. So then I use the heat tool to dry the gesso and seal everything up. Seal the napkin in place. I'll flip the page over and dry the back side as well, just to get it dried on both sides. I don't do it for very long, I just hit it right there right quick. It just helps me feel better that I dried it thoroughly. I'm going back to the watercolor and I'm adding more colors on top of what I've already done, just to bring back that vibrancy and more of the background to come through, because the white parts of the napkin did dull it a little bit, and I just like bright colors, so that's why I'm doing this part. Adding color on top also helps blend the napkin better, so it doesn't look like it's sitting on top of the page. It's more blended into the background. I printed this from my own printer onto clear sticker paper. The brand is Paper Studio. I've never printed on clear sticker paper before, and it took a long time to dry. Is that normal? I had to put it in front of a fan. I had to blot it with a paper towel just to make sure that it dried, so that I wouldn't smear it. And you're going to see here that I'm going to use a paper towel over top of it when I'm pressing it down, just so that I don't smear this ink. It's at this point it's dry, but I still am scared that it's going to smear, so you'll see me use a paper towel, and that's just the whole purpose of the paper towel, just so that any oils from my hand doesn't smear the ink that's on that clear sticker. The last step in all of my projects is to stamp a date on it. I use this stamp set by Hero Arts. I've got 2 of them so that I could have double numbers and letters. And that's the last step to the project. Just add the date on there and you're done. I hope you give using napkins in your Bible a try. It's a quick and easy way to add beautiful images to your pages. Thank you for watching. Bye.